I know that I'm gonna get like 58 MMA lesbians commenting on this video like, oh, you fucking pig. You know, you're a pig for not accepting a woman's sexual past. If you don't accept a woman fucking 20 in the past, you know, you're a misogynistic pig. Don't fucking care. Don't fucking care. Also, as for you, you don't have to worry. I'm not gonna mention your name. I'm not that big of an asshole, but I'm gonna tell the story because I'm pissed off. I'm super pissed off at you. And yeah. I don't even know where to start with this fucking soap opera. Well, what should I start with what makes me look worse or what makes her look worse? I'll start with what makes her look worse. Alright, so basically from the very get-go, there was this thing between us where we were flirting. This is before we were in a relationship. There was always this thing where she was like, I don't trust her. I don't trust her. I think the worst of her. Basically try to paint this image of me like I'm this distrusting guy. You know, relationships are supposed to be built on trust, and I can't have that if you don't trust me. There was this one instance where I was like, yeah, when you go out with your friends, you know, don't drink too much because she's quite, if you get what I mean. And I'm gonna make this short. This was right before we quit talking for like almost a year, which was very devastating for me. I like this girl. I really like this girl. I told her, watch how much you drink. Yeah, because she's going out with her friends. The chick drinks her fucking brains out. She goes out with her friends at night. Like, yeah, I'm fucking worried. Of course I'm worried. And then she tells me, we're not in a relationship. You have no right to tell me what to do. And on top of that all, you always think the worst of me. And then the next day, she was like, yeah, for your information, we were just drinking tea. This was like Christmas, like 2018, 19, I don't even fucking remember. We've known each other for a long time. We've known each other since we were both 18. A big split up. We argued a lot. We stopped talking. And in the meantime, get this. One of her friends, this was like 6 months after we stopped talking. I talked with one of her female friends, and this was a female friend. And not some guy, a female friend. And she texted me randomly. Then we just got into a small conversation about her. I assumed she knew we were flirting. So I guess that's why she told me. And you know what she tells me? She told me, do you know that she works at a fucking strip club? I was like, what? Let me get this straight. Even if it wasn't during our relationship, her having that job at all would have pissed, that already pissed me off. Even if it's outside of a relationship, inside of, doesn't matter. The fact that she would do something like that was an absolute disaster for me. It painted her in such a different light to me. I was so disgusted by her when I found that out. I was so disgusted by her. Because I thought that she was a nice girl. I wanted a nice girl, a nice wholesome girl. I like nice girls. I don't want some slut. Yes, we weren't in a relationship, but it did get to me. Because yeah, I did like her even if we weren't talking anymore. There was still a small part inside of me that liked her, so I did react that way. I was pissed off about that. And we were flirting at the time and stuff like that, and she didn't tell me that, so yeah. By the way, thanks for at least one person in my life not being a complete piece of shit and telling me. I really appreciate that person told me. So basically, she didn't know. When we first got into the relationship, she didn't know that I knew that. I knew beforehand. I knew. She didn't know that I knew that, so I had that information. My plan basically was to be like, you know, I wanted to test her. If she would even admit to ever having done that job. And I was basically going to do like little quips like, hey, what was you, are you still working at that cafe like you used to? What are you working right now? You know, just seeing what she would say. And then I didn't even get to do that. I did not even get to that part because all of a sudden, in a chat we were in, it turned out that we were in a relationship, and someone was like, well, he called you a whore. He called you a whore, you know, because, and she flipped her shit, and she texted me like, yeah, you called me a whore. Why did you call me a whore? And then basically she put me into the spot where I was like, oh shit, because I called her a whore because when that girl told me that, I did tell her, oh, that fucking whore, yeah, good riddance to her, I'm glad we're not talking anymore. I'm just, yeah, basically that was my reaction. And, so basically, to save my own ass, I had to call her out then and there. I couldn't do my plan to test her at all. I had to immediately call her out. And my immediate response was, do you work at a strip club? Did you work at a strip club? It was so, as pissed off as I was about that stuff, it checkmated her so much because she was ready to go off on my ass. And because she had no idea that I knew about this. It was simultaneously so hilarious and satisfying to just see her. She had no idea how to respond to that. And she stopped yelling and bitching. There was a 5 to 8 minute pause of complete silence. Her response was like, well, what do I do at the strip club? That's all she replied. And I was like, so you do work at a strip club. It's true. It's fucking true. And now get this. Get this. Not only does it turn out that she in fact worked at a strip club, this is like the second day of her relationship. Get this. Get this. It turns out she is still working in the strip club. She did it. She still is working at the strip club. My whole thing was being pissed off about, I assumed she worked there for 3 weeks, maybe a year ago or something. She gets into a relationship with me without telling me that she works at a strip club. I don't think that I need to elaborate any further, that I basically got mega pissed off at her when I found that out, that she still had that job. And she was like, oh, it's no big deal, I'm just a waitress, I'm not really, what's the same fucking thing? Oh, hey, at strip clubs, why are there no male waitresses? Gee, I wonder why. The waitresses are just as much of sex objects as the strippers. You're female in a strip club, you're a sex object, just like any other girl in that fucking thing. So, I don't want to hear that fucking shit. And I was basically super pissed off. I was like, what the fuck are you wearing when you work there? What are you, this and that? I was super pissed off at all of her previous arguments, both past and present, about me, thinking the worst of her and calling her a whore. Yeah, her, argument about me calling her a whore, that basically, she had nothing to say about that anymore. Basically, she was fucked. And I asked her, when you're working there, did anyone fucking touch you? Did anyone fucking touch you? And she even admitted that this was before we were together, because I think she wasn't even at work those 2 days. But basically, she told me, yeah, there's this guy that runs his hand through her hair. There's people that try to touch her and then get thrown up. Basically, she gets sexually harassed. She says there's security to throw them out. I thought it's not a big deal. I thought if you're a waitress at a strip club, it's nothing sexual, right? Well, why are there fucking dudes groping you then? What the fuck? So she gets groomed and she gets sexually harassed at her waitress job at a strip club, and it is not a big deal. It's not a big deal. She was also super pissed off at that girl for exposing her. She said, I'm mad at her because I wanted to tell you myself. Yeah, sure you would have. Sure. And then she even admitted, yeah, I was considering not even telling you at all because I knew how you'd react. She was also like, that bitch, who does she think she is getting between our business? Even though she should be fucking grateful that she told me, had that come out 3 months or a year into our relationship, and not the second day, and not me knowing beforehand, had that come out out of the blue without me knowing, I reassure you, I can reassure you that I would have given her my best Chris Brown impression. Basically, shortly after that, shit got very serious and dramatic, and I was like, if you don't immediately quit that job, if you show up there one more time, it's over. It's over. I'm done. I'm gone. I'm leaving you. I'm never speaking with you again, which I would have done. I never would have spoken to her again. She was like, with all due respect, Henry, but you're asking a lot of me. Instead of being immediately doing that, she actually was like, oh, you're asking a lot of me to do that. Like, can you imagine that? Instead of like, I'm giving her a chance to save it, and she's second guessing. She's second guessing that to not quit the job. She tells me their boyfriends let them do it. I don't fucking care what these fucking cucks let their girlfriends see. Yeah, you're not gonna work at a strip club while you're in a relationship with me. Are you out of your fucking mind? And then this girl has the audacity to suggest, you know, if it makes you uncomfortable, you know, we could end the relationship right now, and you know, I can keep doing my job until I finish it, and then when I'm finished, we can get back into a relationship again. Oh really? How would you like it if I, in the interim, went on a trip to Thailand and had a triple anal sex train session with a bunch of lady boys that stick up chicken kebab skewers up my ass? How would you like that? How would you like that, huh? Later that same day, she quit the job. I basically forced and pressured her into quitting the job. It wasn't even her own, like, oh yeah, it's the right thing to do. I had to pressure her into doing it. Don't care that I did it. I have zero regrets about having done that. And after that, during our whole relationship, she always held that against me. Like, she was like, I quit my job for you. Like, what a noble thing that is, that she quit working at a strip club where you get touched and watched by other men while she was in a relationship with me. Well, what a noble thing that is, that she didn't cheat on me. Well, what a noble sacrifice that is. You want a medal for that? Yeah, you're lucky I didn't dump your ass dead and there, you dumb fucking bitch. So and this was just at the very beginning of when we got into a relationship. This was before we met in person. We met in person after that, and we were together for like a year and a half after that, maybe, and it was already off to a disastrous start. Like, that has already spoiled the whole thing for me from the get-go. I was so disgusted by her. After that. Like, even if she did quit it, I was so disgusted by her. And even after that, she was also really mad. She's like, oh, what, so you think I'm a hoary whore for working at that place? But what, if you don't want me to think that, you should have gotten a job at Starbucks. So shut the fuck up, like, really.